22nd match of the Indian Premier League. It was the Punjab Kings who were hosting the Chennai Super Kings. Like always in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the key highlights of the 22nd game of the Indian Premier League. The two captains in Shreyas Iyer and Ruturaj Gaikwad were there at the centre for the toss, and it was the home captain in Shreyas Iyer who won the toss and elected to bat first. Yes, you heard it right, that's not been the trend. Captains who have won the toss on most of the occasions have chosen to bowl first, but this time it was Shreyas Iyer who decided to bat first, not following the trend that's been going on in the Indian Premier League so far. The two openers in Priyansh Arya and Prabh came out in the centre for the Punjab Kings, and Priyansh Arya got off the strike with a boundary. Very first ball of the innings, it was Khalil Ahmed, and Priyansh Arya on the rise of the bounce, with the bounce, played that boundary over point and cover region, and he started off with a boundary. But this was the moment which really became the key moment of the game, a defining moment. It was in the it was in the first over itself of the game, but Priyansh Arya was dropped off the bowling of Khalil Ahmed. It was definitely a half chance. It wasn't a straightforward catch, but now in hindsight, when we look at the result of the game, this could have really been the moment where the game could have absolutely gone in an opposite direction to which it actually went forward. But the Chennai Super Kings bowlers continued to dominate, and Prabh got a peach of a delivery by Mukesh Chaudhary, and Prabh, after one good innings in this IPL so far, hasn't really impressed anybody since then. One of the retained players for the Punjab Kings, and would really want to leave a mark moving ahead in the Indian Premier League. But that did not affect Priyansh Arya, on the other hand, who continued to play his shots all around the park. He was joined by his informed captain Shreyas Iyer, and both of them continued the run flow and made sure that runs do not stop even if wickets are falling. But again, this continued. Khalil Ahmed's brilliant bowling continued, and he got rid of the man in form, Shreyas Iyer, and Shreyas Iyer had to go back to the pavilion in the power play itself. But Priyansh Arya, like I mentioned, continued to play his shots, continued to dominate the bowler despite two early wickets. He did not stop the momentum. He tried to utilize the power play as much as possible. But then the next man to fall was Marcus Stoinis. Khalil Ahmed continued his brilliant bowling. He was bowling some balls of fire, and he now got rid of Marcus Stoinis. And the Punjab Kings at this point were now 3 wickets down. And Shreyas Iyer, who was back in the hut, would be definitely thinking that maybe at the toss he should have gone the other way and chosen to bowl first as well, seeing the condition his team was in. After that, he was joined by Nehal Vadera, who had a good outing last time around. And by this time, Priyansh Arya, who was standing on one end and playing his shots, it looked like he's batting to some other bowlers and on some other different track altogether. He had reached to his 50, but the Punjab Kings were already 3 down at this point of time. The wickets did not stop to fall. It was now Glenn Maxwell and Nehal Vadera who both in a very small gap had to go back, and the Punjab Kings found themselves at 83 for 5 wickets, and Priyansh Arya, who looked completely different, was on the other end, and he would be thinking that how should he be progressing his innings from here. He was now joined by the last recognized batter in Shashank Singh, and both of them did know that this is good. This was the last batting pair that they had, but they still wanted to go down fighting, and they continued to play their shots, and boy oh boy, that definitely worked for the two batters who played for the Punjab Kings. Both of them continued to play their shots. Both of them dominated the bowling despite the fact that their 5 wickets were down, and they were the last recognized batters in the Punjab Kings. They continued to play their shots, and Priyansh Arya did not stop. He did not look back. Just like I showed you in the first over, a half chance was dropped. After that, he did not look back and continued to play the kind of inning that he was playing since the very beginning. This was the moment that this 24-year-old boy from Delhi is going to remember for a lifetime. First IPL century for him, first Indian to score a century in his maiden IPL season, fourth fastest ever as far as fastest century ever. It's a tie with Travis Head. Second fastest Indian to score a century in IPL. Lots of records books shattered, and at this point his team was at 158 runs. Out of that, 100 runs came out of the bat of Priyansh Arya, and at a strike rate of over 200. He had completely dominated despite his team being down and out. He now had gotten his team back into the game, and where Punjab Kings were 83 for 5 at a moment, now the Punjab Kings looked in a not in a comfortable spot, but definitely in a better spot where they actually were. But Priyansh Arya had to fall after a tremendous innings that will be remembered for many years to come, at least by Priyansh Arya. He, at this point, they had to go back to the pavilion, but Shashank Singh, on the other hand, was set, and he decided that he's going to finish off the innings for the Punjab Kings. And he also was helped by Marco Jansen with the bat, who hit 2 sixes in his innings, and Shashank Singh scoring a 50, both of them making sure that they take the Punjab Kings over 200. Both of them really try to leave the impact from a stage where the team was down and out. The Punjab Kings were now nearing to a total of 200 runs, and they actually did score above 200. 219 is what they got. 103 for Priyansh Arya. After that, Prab Simran, Shreyas Iyer, Marcus Stoinis, Nihal Vadera and Glenn Maxwell did disappoint, single digits for them. And then this late blitz by Shashank Singh and Marco Jansen, making sure that the team goes past 200 runs. And now the target for the Chennai Super Kings was way above par total, and the Chennai Super Kings had to produce something very special, especially when the whole batting order hasn't been in great form. The two openers in Rachin Ravindra and Devin Conway came out, and they also started with boundaries, but both started with boundaries. They also know that the target was going to be really far away. At this point, Punjab Kings were really favourites, but the kind of start that Rachin Ravindra and Devin Conway gave, they got Chennai Super Kings back into the equation, and both of them really utilized the power play to the fullest. When everything looked really settled for the Chennai Super Kings, it looked like they are coming back into the game, that was the moment when Rachin Ravindra fell, and Rachin Ravindra got out. He had to go back to the pavilion. Now Chennai Super Kings were one down, and Devin Conway was then joined by Ruturaj Gaikwad, but Ruturaj Gaikwad as well got out very cheaply. The string of low scores for Ruturaj Gaikwad continue. He's batting at number 3 in this tournament, and he got out as well, and he definitely disappointed, not being able to leave an impact when the team really needed him in a chase of 220 runs. But Devin Conway then was joined with Shivam Dube, where Shivam Dube also tried to play all kinds of shots. Shivam Dube tried to put the pressure back on the Punjab Kings, and again, a game full of ebbs and flows. It looked like that the Chennai Super Kings are slowly, gradually, but definitely creeping back into the game. They played their shots, continued to play their shots, and this was the moment when Devin Conway's catch was dropped by Lockie Ferguson on the point region. And this over, though, was bowled by Arshdeep Singh, and when the run rate was climbing up, the Chennai Super Kings somehow contained it. But this over by Arshdeep Singh of 6 runs definitely put a lot of pressure back on the Chennai Super Kings, as the required run rate had really risen at this point of time. Devin Conway got to his 50, and Shivam Dube also continued to play his shots, continued to dominate the bowlers. He hit this ball out of the park for a brilliant 6, and Chennai Super Kings somehow were sort of getting back into the game as well. But then Shivam Dube had to return back to the pavilion. Chennai Super Kings were 3 down, and now the whole of the crowd was just waiting for one man, and that was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, because last 5 overs, 70 odd runs were required. Lots of people anticipated the entry of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and that's exactly what happened. Mahendra Singh Dhoni did hit a few boundaries here and there, did hit a 6 here and there, but Devin Conway, who on the other end was getting a little slow, he was retired out, he was sent back. Ravindra Jadeja came as well, but the game was really far away from Chennai Super Kings' reach by this point of time. Dhoni also returned, and you can see the equation. 28 runs were required of the last deliveries. MS Dhoni got out on the first delivery, and this was the final stamp on the envelope which sealed the win for the Punjab Kings. Their 4th win was almost a certainty at this point. Yash Thakur, the man who bowled the last over, would be a really happy man. First game of the IPL, and bowled absolutely phenomenal bowling spell. Shreyas Iyer at a moment where Devon Conway and Shivam Dube were playing, looked like that the match might slip away from the hands of from the Punjab Kings, but he made sure that with his captaincy being spot on, his plans being spot on, he maintained that the game did not go far away from the Punjab Kings. This is how the points table stands at this point. Punjab Kings, who for a while were out of the top 4 because Lucknow Super Giants had won a game in the afternoon, are back at number 4. The Delhi Capitals leading the points table, and Chennai Super Kings not too far behind from the 10th position. They now will have to win at least 7 out of the next 9 games, same as Mumbai and Sunrisers Hyderabad. So these 3 teams really find themselves in a really hot soup at this point, and they will really have to make a comeback in the Indian Premier League as now, because after this things are going to get out of control. This was match number 22. It was a double-header Tuesday, and I genuinely hope that you guys would have enjoyed this IPL day. Lots of more games coming your way. We are just one part into this IPL. We are getting into the middle phase of the Indian Premier League. Lots more coming your way, so stay tuned on Sports Today. If you haven't subscribed to us till now, do not forget to press the subscribe button. If you like this video, do give us a like as well, and do not forget to press the bell icon so that as soon as we are live, you guys come to know first.